What's up, people? It's your boy Sly. In this video, I'm going to talk about the state of loneliness. See, loneliness in the United States is a very big deal, but many people don't see the big effect behind it. So I'm going to show you guys an article of a recent study that just came out titled Loneliness Increasing in the U.S. and Young People Suffer the Most.
A person off in the distance, alone in their thoughts, sitting in a park in darkness. A portrait of a man walking in the snow all by himself. A young man playing basketball with nobody else around. All pictures of people in New York in situations of solitude, perhaps loneliness. Luke Cortis, a Polish photographer, snapped the pictures. He says he can relate to the subjects. He moved to New York City 4 years ago, knew almost no one, and discovered many people suffered from loneliness. Just by chance, many of his photographs were of people alone.
You know, you come here, you're busy with your work life, and then you realize that all your family and your friends and social life in many ways is behind. And I was used to it, but I talked to a lot of people, a lot of New Yorkers here, my friends are strangers. And the theme of loneliness just kept coming back.
According to a study sponsored by Cigna, a global health and insurance company, Americans are alarmingly lonely. And being alone can bring about serious health risks.
Research has been done that has shown loneliness linked to heart disease, diabetes, depression, substance use, and other chronic illnesses.
While the study was focused on the U.S., researchers say the numbers are similar in other parts of the world. But perhaps what stood out most in the study, young people between 18 and 22 years old scored higher than any other age group in the loneliness survey, far more lonely than people 72 and older. Researchers aren't exactly sure why, but they say high social media consumption does not help. We've all seen it a million times. Young people in parks like this, and instead of sitting next to family and friends and talking, they're hunched over their phones like this, checking social media. In the end, social media is very antisocial. As for Luke Cortis, he is not trying to start a social commentary about loneliness with his pictures. He simply discovered taking pictures of people usually showed, more often than not, the people were alone. Gabriel Elizondo, Al Jazeera, New York.
So you guys saw that clip, right? So let's talk about what we just saw here. First, we had this Polish guy, this Polish immigrant, taking pictures around the city of New York. And he discovered a lot of people are just lonely. So you have to understand, like, why is it that, is it not, in just in many cases, but why is it that many immigrants, when they come to the U.S., they see these effects? Because if you live in a big city like Seattle or New York, there's always a diverse community. Like, New York is one of the most diverse, if not the most diverse area in the world. Okay? New York, you can find any kind of community there if you want. You can find Chinese, you can find a Russian, you can find Polish, you can find, doesn't matter. You can find different communities in high numbers. And it's interesting to me, why is that always in these big cities where the immigrants, when they come together, they usually stay in their own community? I mean, a lot of times people will say, oh, because they're snobs, or they hate Americans, blah, blah. That's not the case. The case is they can't fit in because the average American does not let people into their circle. They don't, on average. They really don't. So that's why you see so many of these communities, they stick together. The United States today, many people are alone by choice. But in some cases, it's by default. Okay? What else do you see in that video? You saw people sitting alone in the park. I've been to the parks here in Washington here. It's the exact same shit. It's the exact same thing. Okay? A lot of people are sitting alone. They are just by themselves. Some people, like when I used to go to the park, I see like many people by themselves. Or you see groups of 2 people. Very few groups of 3, but I rarely or I don't remember seeing groups of 4 or more people together in a park. Especially during this time of the year, I don't see it. So that's one of those things where it just gets to you, you know? We live in America today where America today is so isolated that everyone just does their own thing. I mean, people here, they go to work and they go home. That's all people do. I do that all the time. I tried to make friends out here. I tried to socialize. I tried. I give up. I'm done. No longer interested. I don't want to meet nobody. I don't want to talk to nobody either. Not interested. Because I spend my time like doing things and people don't want to do anything. They just look at me cross-eyed or they think I'm annoying them when I try talking. So I said, fuck it, I'm over it. It happened to me many times where I approach people in public. They give me these fake conversations or these fake smiles. And it's just like, it gets annoying after a while. Not interested. It happens to, the dating field in the U.S. is awful, okay? You have girls out here today who are single, okay? You have girls out here who are single, and they see another single guy. They won't even give him a chance because the guy has to fit her imaginary checklist. He has to have everything she wants. If not, she's not going to waste her time talking to him. That's part of the reason why the dating field in the U.S. is awful right now. Because I know many guys out here, they don't care about the girl who's perfect or not. They just want a girl who is just fun to be around or nice to talk to. Okay? But when it comes to girls, they want the guy must have everything she's looking for. He has to be tall. He has to have his own apartment. He has to make a certain amount of money. He has to make her laugh. All this bullshit. And the issue I have with these things where women have all these things where guys have to impress her, but yet she has to do nothing for the guy. And you wonder why many men today say, fuck dating. Not interested. There's so many guys who said, fuck dating, it's a waste of time, not doing it ever again. You'd be surprised. And that's what leads to the dating field being what it is. It's crap. Okay? When it comes to the work environment, it's like the work environment is so toxic on average. All you're doing is the work environment in the United States is one of the worst things ever. Because you're paid to do a job, and yet you have to deal with coworkers you don't like, bosses you can't stand being around. So by the time you come home, or by the time you leave your job for the day, you just want to relax with people you know just to blow some steam and chill. But you can't do that. But since you live alone, you can't do that. Do you not see where it's coming from? You can't do that. Some people go to bars. They just drink themselves into a sorrow, and that's it. This is what's going on in the U.S. today. A lot of people spend all their we are living in a state of social isolation. Okay? It's really bad right now. And you guys see it has health effects too. Right? But to what I understand, one of the biggest health effects I know is stress. Some people come home, they have no one to talk to when they come home from work. Yeah, I mean, you may call people on the telephone, hey, what's up, how's it going? Yeah, that's fine. But sometimes you need someone whom you can, like, talk to. Like, face to face. Some people you can just spend time with. People don't have that. You'd be surprised when you go to certain areas. People who live in these cities. Doesn't matter. I bet you there are so many cases where people just live alone, where they have no one to talk to. They try to fit in, it doesn't work. You see what I mean? That's what happens in many cases. So people need to be more concerned about this, because there are so many immigrants when they go from when they come here, they see the bullshit immediately. That most people here in the U.S. spend their time working. They don't work because they need to work. People work because they want to work. I mean, do you not see what I just said? Some people work because they want to, not because they have to. Okay, some people have to work to make ends meet. I understand that, right? But there's some people out there, they work just because they have nothing else to do. See, that's why when some Americans, when they travel abroad to visit, many of them either relocate overseas or they spend their free time traveling. They don't stay in the U.S. like that no more. They don't. You know? It's really crazy out here. It's crazy. And the part that's so crazy to me is that this study I just showed you guys of this clip is like, I've been saying this shit for a long time. Okay? I've been saying shit for a long time. We live in a state of isolation. It's very, 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 very strange. If that's what people want to do, hey, if people want to be lonely, they want to be antisocial, be my guest. That life ain't for me. If I get my money right, I'm out. I'm not staying here. There's so many people I've seen who have left the country because there's no social connection in the U.S. There's none out here. There's none. You can literally spend like 5 years at one location and not know any of your neighbors. And people think that's normal. But when you go to these other communities, some of these other cultures you go to, like overseas, people know everybody. You don't have to be best friends with them. You don't even have to, see them on a weekly basis. Just the fact that they know you is the biggest step ever. But in the U.S., everyone here, leave me alone, don't talk to me, don't look at me, don't breathe near me. And you wonder why people today are going crazy, right? And you wonder why people today are going crazy. Some of the stuff I've seen in the news will make your head spin. You ask yourself, how come this shit's not happening in other countries? Okay? Believe it or not, right? If you go to some of these other countries, like countries in Asia or countries in Africa, they have easier access to guns. And there's a higher possibility of them not getting caught. But you don't see the news a lot when it comes to them shooting up places or them acting irrational in public. You don't see those things often. You don't see it often. United States today, anything you say to someone can make them explode. Who wants to be in an environment where you can't speak freely? Okay? Sometimes when you're around your friends, you can say whatever you want without being judged. Right? But in the US, you can't do that. You can't do that. Because so many people here are so sensitive that if you say the wrong thing, they will take it personal, they'll stop talking to you, or they'll get defensive, or some weird shit goes on here. Like, I told you guys before, man, I don't like talking to people who have no sense of humor. If people don't know how to have fun or crack jokes or relax, I don't deal with them. Not interested. People like that don't need to be around me. Because too many people here are so sensitive, they're so crazy to the point where you don't even feel normal to even say anything, regardless of what topic it is. Okay? This is the life we live in the United States. You're living on edge. What kind of life is this? So basically, this is the life that's going on right now. Okay? I'm speaking for the average person in America today. This is their life. They will either they go to work, then they go home. If they do go out, they're going by themselves. If not by themselves, they're going with one other person. Okay? That's it. That's their life. Do you not see what I'm talking about? I'm saying for the average person. Okay, other people, I know everyone's different, but the average American you see today, that's all they're doing. Okay? I know this life already. That's why I cannot stay here and be happy. If I had my way, I'd leave right now. But I'm gonna save some money, build my career a little bit, and I'm out. I'm not staying here. This is bad on my mental health. I'm in my early 30s right now, and I don't do anything. Yeah, I know, but I see people in other countries my age. Some of them are already married with kids. Some of them have already been to like 9 or 10 different countries. Okay? Some of them have already done more things than I ever will if I stay here. Do you not see what I'm talking about? I truly believe if I lived in another country, I would be more successful than where I'm at right now. And I'm saying this because you cannot build a successful business career if you don't have networks. If you don't have networks, you cannot build a career. Period. Doesn't matter what you studied. Do you know what I'm talking about right now? But you can't make networks in the US like that. Unless you know the right people, they're not messing with you. So people need to understand, like, this life we live in the United States is very depressing. I'm not here to preach or tell people to leave America. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm just speaking on the effects of what's going on here today. So this is what I'm seeing. You guys may see something different, but let me know what you think. Peace.